On popular request, we are going to continue our Excel, uh, what's that called? Our Excel something.
This is the
Yeah, this one. Learning Excel sheet. I just added 4 videos. They're already there. I have been getting a lot of requests on how to continue it. So we will start doing it in some chunks. Okay. The first important thing I want you to learn in Excel is moving formulas up and down. Okay. So it's basically, let's make a fake data. Name. Okay. So one, let's say it's 10, 11, 15, 18, 16, 15. Okay. And let's add a random of 10. What am I doing now? It's rand between 1 and 10 and plus 10. Okay. And let's add this to the bunch more data. Okay, so this will be subject 1 and let's move it here to here. So we want to subject 12. Okay, first let's paste the data. Now, if you are asked to, let's take a screenshot of it and let's talk about it a bit. Okay, now you can see this. I hope you can. Okay, and let's say that you are asked to get a total of the value here. Okay, so you get a sum here, but the thing is you don't want this sum to come under. So the thing is you want the sum to travel from here to here. Okay, I know you can use the auto sum formula here, but the point is not the auto sum here. Let's say you have made a complex formula here that you can't replicate with some other key. So how do you move it from here to here? Okay, so let's do that. This is very simple. So this is my formula. I do a sum. So that's how you like write a formula in Excel. You just type equal to, you type the name and it will show you. Even tells you what this is going to do. You if you press tab, it will start the bracket for you and it will ask you number from one place to the other. So I can do this, and after that, here is the syntax what you should do. You should add comma, you should add the second number, third number, fourth number, fifth number, and sixth number, and you should press enter. What I did there right now was, since this formula box is above F, so I just pressed here and I moved the box with the arrow. You can see I can move the box with the arrow and press enter. Okay, so this was one way to do it. Okay, and if I now drag the formula from here to here, it will give me a sum. Let's just cross check if it is correct or not. So my sum is 355. It is showing me 355. Okay, so this in this way, some formulas work like this. Okay, you can pass them. You can either pass them each value one at a time, or the usual way that you must have heard is to basically pass all this as an array. Okay, so from B2 to B7, this is the syntax we use, and we press enter, it will give you the same thing, and this is much better. This formula is much better readable. Okay, now 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 is the important thing. Okay, let's say total. Let's say the total for total, not say total. Let's say what can you say? Let's say correction. Okay. So let's say that there is a bit of a correction in each. You know what? Don't do it here. We will do it actually here. So I hope this is clear now. This is pretty simple. Okay. Now we are here. Okay. And now what we want to do? We want to do a total of this. We want to move from here to here, and but we want to divide it by, let's say, a number like 1200. Okay, so let's say my total marks, let's say it's written here, my total marks is written here of 1200. Ignore the average for now. Let's say my total marks is written here, it's 1200. Okay, and now what I want to do, I also want a sum. Okay, but I also want the so total by what do you call it? I think percentage is fine. Okay. So yeah, so what I want to do, I want to do a sum of this, a complete sum of this, but I also want it to be divided by this. Here is what most people do. They do this, they do sum. Okay, they do this from here to here, they close the bracket, and then they divide it by this formula, and you go get this, and you convert it into percentage, you get 38%. Okay, so the thing is, if you try to move it down, it gives you a division by 0 error. So this error means there is a division by 0, and you will start to think, oh, what did I do wrong? So if you look at the formula, this formula, so the way you check a formula is you just click on here and you click on the formula bar, it will show you what exactly has been done. So B2 to M2, you can see the blue color highlighted here, the blue color formula, it is written here, and the Q1, and it is red, it is highlighted here, you can see it here. So this is divided by this is divided by this. That's all well and good. We come down and you click on this looks fine, but now this formula has come down. Okay, this has traveled from there to here. Now one way to fix it is I will tell you 2 or 3 ways to fix it. So the first way is you move this formula from here to here. Okay, now you press enter, that formula is hit. But if you do it once again, it again has come down here. So this is what I wanted to teach you. Okay, I call it moving formulas. Okay, so this is the formula. What I want to happen now, that if I move the formula from here to here, or let's say into the next column also, okay, we will also make an average column here. Okay, I want the formula, so let's go from here to here first. If I want a percentage, oh no, that would be more complex. Let's go from up to down first. Yeah, so if we want the formula to move from here to here and not show an error, what you should do is you should lock the cell. Okay, you should lock the cell, and here is what I mean by locking the cell. Okay, if you look at the formula above, it says something something. Okay, that's not W. Where is the eraser? Yeah. So it says sum of B2 to M2. Okay, and we divide it by Q1. Okay, now if you look at this is the reference of a cell. Okay, so this is the Q column and this is the 1 number row. So we reference this cell by Q1. Okay, now if we want to lock something, so Q and 1, while dragging a formula from one cell to other, if we want to lock the column, Okay, let's say I don't want this column to change. If you drag it from here to here, let's say I don't want this Q to change, I will put a dollar sign here. Okay. If however, if however, if however, I don't want the one to change in our case. Okay, so we want it always to be fixed in this row, this first row. We will put a dollar sign here. So let's go back and do that. So we can put a dollar sign here, Q $1. Now what will happen is, now if I move the formula down, the number row, that is the first row, it will always be fixed to this column. So it will always be in Q1. As you can see, the formula is always Q1. Okay. It is important you understand this very clearly, because whatever we are going to do above this, and this happens with many other complex formulas like VLOOKUP and all, where you have to do a bunch of things at a time, especially when you have to learn index match. This is the main point that actually, is a big hurdle for people. If you don't understand this, understanding other things might be difficult. So, in the same way, how do I move from here to here? Okay, how do I move from percentage to average? Let's go back a bit. Okay, let's make it like this. Okay, now I am B2 to M2 by Q1. Now what I want, if I want the formula to move from here to here. Before clicking that, think about what will happen. Since this starts from B2 to M2, okay, this formula is from here to here. If I move it to the next column, it will start checking from here, from C to N, because these are not logged. B2 and M2 are not logged. Okay, let me show you in the picture once. If I try to move the formula, now I try to move from here to here in the same way as it was done earlier, B2 to M2. Okay, if I try to move the formula from here to here, there is no log. The B will go to C, it will happen C2, and the M will go to N, and that is the issue. Okay, so what will we do for this row? For this row, what we will do, so that it doesn't get confused, what we will do is we will lock it by column. If you think about it, the column is moving from B to C, we are going. Okay, so what we will do, we will lock it from B to C, and so the way we lock the B and C is, the way we lock the column is, you put a dollar sign before the column, just like above. So let me first show you what happens if I move it from here to here. As you can see, it moved from C to N, and also the Q also moved from Q to R. Okay, let's delete that. Let's get back to this formula. We put a dollar sign here, we put a dollar sign here, and we press enter. Now if you move the formula, at least B2 M2 is fine. Okay, we get this from here to here. Now the division, for division, the same thing as we did before. Now we have to log the Q. Okay, we don't want Q to move. We don't want Q to move, and we press enter. And now if we come from here to here, the formula is this by this. Okay, but honestly, I think in average we should put a number to it. Again, this should not be a percentage, this will be a number. So how do you change that? Here it is, here is number. Okay, so this is average. Okay, now other thing, what's the other thing? If we want to move the formula from up to down, okay, since this was okay, I think we already covered this now. This formula should not be just $Q. Okay, so while moving from here to here, we want this to be logged. We also want, when we want to move from up to down, we also want to log this. Okay, so if that gets confusing, let me explain to you what I mean. What I mean to say is that no matter what happens, this total marks will always stay in this column. Okay, so up until now we were only putting a dollar either here or here. Okay, so either we were locking the column or we were locking the row. Now if we put the formula in, we put dollar in both sides, no matter where we drag the formula, it will always be that. So if we come here, we put a dollar sign here and we press enter. Now if we move from here to here, the Q will always be, if we move it from here to here, the Q1, it will always be locked because the column and the row both are locked. I think if you move it from here to here, this is not percentage, this is a number. Okay, I drag the same formula. Na? This will not be Q1. We will have, yeah, honestly, we don't even need, and let's just show you. So, total subjects. We already have subject to total. So, instead of Q1, this will be Q2. Okay. Now, I hope that is clear how the locking and not locking works. There is one thing I didn't tell you, that there is a small shortcut that you can use to toggle between the locks. Okay, so if you go to any formula, let's say you go to here, and if you are, let's say here, in a particular cell, you press F4, and now it has logged the, you can see $2, now it is logged 0. You press F4 again, now it has logged the column. You press F4 again, all locks are gone. You press F4 again, there is a lock on everything. Okay, now we will use this knowledge and we will move into the next video. Hope that's clear. See you again.